What's going on, guys? It's your boy JT, and we are back to the Crypto Den. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today, I wanted to get you with you know, a tagline that you'd hopefully click. It's important for you to understand this, though. Okay, if you understand this stuff, you actually will be wealthy over time. If you put your money in the right places, if you understand these concepts I'm about to teach you, you will be fine in crypto. I promise you. Okay. Some honorable mentions. I think a great channel to watch is Coach JV at 3T Warrior Academy. He talks about these principles and these fundamentals a lot, far more than I do. I'm more of a technologist, but he looks at it from a traditional finance perspective in a way that is quite unique for YouTube. So, highly recommend you look at him for the nuts and bolts of what I'm going to brush over, but this is fundamentally true. Before I get into it, for those who may not know, I am Jake Tullis. I go by JT because I think that's a way cooler name in general. I am the hedge fund manager of Bleeding Edge Capital. We are a digital asset hedge fund that is discretionarily long, based out of Cincinnati, Ohio. What I do is analyze the markets, the fundamentals of technology that we invest in, and we have a long time horizon on our investments, a minimum of 5 years. So when you hear me talk, I want you to understand that we are very early, that the time frames I mention are long. I mean, if I'm saying this is going to pop off, I'm talking 6 months, 12 months. I'm not talking days, hours, minutes. You come to me for sound counsel and advice, even though it's not financial advice, just advice and awareness of what is going on in crypto in general. I document all of my research here on YouTube for you. I care about your ability to not make poor decisions when you are thinking about investing your life force, your money, your energy into something and expecting something that just is not possible or is highly, highly, highly unlikely. So, with that, we're going to get right into it. You need to understand what ISO 222 is. You need to understand what that is, okay? ISO stands for International Standards Organization, okay? 222 is the specific number that identifies the standards of messaging for crypto or blockchain in general, okay? When I say messaging, I want you to understand what I mean. Imagine there's two computers, okay? And this is an analogy. All my technical people, please forgive me. But let's just say there's two computers. This guy's in Mexico and this one's in England, let's say. And they want to send messages. Specifically, they want to send, let's say, money to one another. Right now, you have to be speaking the same language. If this computer is speaking Spanish and this one's speaking English, that money will never get to the computer. They will not be able to communicate. They are going to be isolated. It's only through the International Standards Organization that sets the standards for all of these computers to communicate in the same language, have the same kind of calls and same requests and responses and all this stuff. That is their only reason to exist. ISO 222 compliance means in this new messaging system where we transmit value on the internet, that is blockchain, crypto, Web3, whatever you want to call it, that's what it is. Okay, the internet of value. The standards for the internet of value is 222. If you understand that, you then have to draw a conclusion that for value on a government, international, cross border kind of way, which is trillions of dollars, for them to move that value seamlessly across different state nations, different businesses, import, export, all of that stuff, they need to be ISO 222 compliant. So if you're investing in a network that is not ISO 222 compliant, that means your portfolio is exclusively divested into retail. People volunteering their energy, time, and money, and purely consumerism. That's what you're investing in. If your portfolio does not include ISO 222 compliant assets, you need to seriously consider the consequences of that. I'll get into those assets in a second, but I really want you to hear what I just said again. If you do not invest in ISO 222 compliant networks, tokens, projects, protocols, your portfolio is 100% invested into consumerism or retail players and investors. And you should know that that is a very small percentage of GDP of value that will be moved to the internet. It could be trillions and trillions and trillions. It's already seen 3 trillion. But the second an institution comes in, 1% could be of like BlackRock. That is hundreds of billions of dollars, and there's hundreds of firms and funds that are similar to BlackRock, not as large, but you get the idea. And then you have governments that are printing money and moving it back and forth. Tens of trillions of dollars could be captured on these ISO 222 compliant networks in the future. Those assets right now are small and few in between. Okay, they are. You have, and you should Google this. Okay, you have Quant, you have XLM, you have XRP, you have Algorand, you have XDC. Okay, these are all different projects that are all going to play different roles, but they are the first in line for all of the solutions that governments and large institutions are looking at. Other networks are going to have to become ISO 222 compliant if they want direct ramps to fiat tokens. Like when we're all fully operational on CBDCs and you're getting US dollar tokens sent to your federally issued wallet. I know that sounds crazy, but that's going to happen. When that happens, those tokens will not be able to move onto a network that is not ISO 222 compliant without some form of conversion method, which they could control. So, if you're trying to make some bags before the reset happens and your money's going to be controlled and monitored and every transaction will be public and everything else, I highly recommend you look at these ISO 222 compliant tokens, networks, protocols, and you stay on top of the ones that are moving into that space because they will capture a lot of value in the future. And that is how you will become a millionaire. It's the fundamentals research, it's the calmness, the patience, the reading of articles, all the boring stuff, and getting interested in a time like this instead of when these assets are trading at a 10 to 20x multiple. All right. I know that was a lot more technical than I like to get on this channel, but I appreciate you sticking around. Thank you for tuning in and learning more about what you need to be aware of to make more money in this cycle. As always, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, and I greatly appreciate your support and your interest. Thank you so much. Until next time, take care of one another. All right. Peace and love, guys. I'll see you.